Have you ever wondered what the future holds? It's a question that has captivated humanity for centuries. We look for signs, we make predictions, but what if we had a glimpse into the end times from the most reliable source imaginable? In today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about chapters in the entire Bible, Matthew 24. This is where Jesus himself sits down with his disciples and pulls back the curtain on the future, speaking about the end of the age and his eventual return. He gives them and us a roadmap of what to expect, what to look for, and most importantly, how to live in light of these coming events. The disciples asked a direct question, and Jesus gave a direct, detailed answer. So let's get ready to listen closely as we explore Jesus' powerful words from the New Living Translation, starting with a shocking prediction about the magnificent temple in Jerusalem. Let's begin in Matthew chapter 24, verse 1, New Living Translation. As Jesus was leaving the temple grounds, his disciples pointed out to him the various temple buildings. But he responded, "Do you see all these buildings? I tell you the truth, they will be completely demolished. Not one stone will be left on top of another." Later, Jesus sat on the Mount of Olives. His disciples came to him privately and said, "Tell us, when will all this happen? What sign will signal your return and the end of the world?" Jesus told them, "Don't let anyone mislead you, for many will come in my name, claiming, 'I am the Messiah.' They will deceive many, and you will hear of wars and threats of wars, but don't panic. Yes, these things must take place, but the end won't follow immediately. Nation will go to war against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in many parts of the world, but all this is only the first of the birth pains, with more to come. Then you will be arrested, persecuted, and killed. You will be hated all over the world because you are my followers, and many will turn away from me and betray and hate each other, and many false prophets will appear and will deceive many people. Sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold. But the one who endures to the end will be saved, and the good news about the kingdom will be preached throughout the whole world, so that all nations will hear it. And then the end will come. The day is coming when you will see what Daniel the prophet spoke about the sacrilegious object that causes desecration standing in the holy place. Reader, pay attention. Then those in Judea must flee to the hills. A person out on the deck of a roof must not go down into the house to pack. A person out in the field must not return even to get a coat. How terrible it will be for pregnant women and for nursing mothers in those days, and pray that your flight will not be in winter or on the Sabbath. For there will be greater anguish than at any time since the world began, and it will never be so great again. In fact, unless that time of calamity is shortened, not a single person will survive, but it will be shortened for the sake of God's chosen ones. Then if anyone tells you, 'Look, here is the Messiah,' or 'There he is,' don't believe it. For false messiahs and false prophets will rise up and perform great signs and wonders so as to deceive, if possible, even God's chosen ones. See, I have warned you about this ahead of time. So if someone tells you, 'Look, the Messiah is out in the desert,' don't bother to go and look, or 'Look, he is hiding here,' don't believe it. For as the lightning flashes in the east and shines to the west, so it will be when the Son of Man comes. Just as the gathering of vultures shows there is a carcass nearby, so these signs indicate that the end is near." What an incredibly powerful and sobering passage. Let's take a moment to break down what Jesus is telling us. He begins by making a stunning prophecy about the temple in Jerusalem, a building that was the center of Jewish life and worship. He says not one stone will be left on another, a prophecy that was fulfilled just a few decades later in 70 AD when the Romans destroyed Jerusalem. This sets the stage for the rest of his words. It shows us that what Jesus says happens. The disciples then ask him for the sign of his return and the end of the age. Jesus responds not with a date, but with a sequence of events and warnings. He tells them not to be deceived. This is his first and repeated warning. There will be false messiahs, wars, famines, and earthquakes. But he says something crucial: don't panic. These things are like birth pains. They signal that something is coming, but they are not the end itself. Then the message gets very personal for his followers. He predicts persecution, betrayal, and a rise in lawlessness that causes love to grow cold. It's a dark picture, but right in the middle of it, there's this incredible promise. The one who endures to the end will be saved. Endurance and perseverance are key. And what fuels that endurance? The mission. He says the good news of the kingdom will be preached to the whole world, and then the end will come. Our purpose in these times is not just to survive, but to share the hope we have. Jesus then speaks of a specific terrible event he calls the sacrilegious object that causes desecration, referencing the prophet Daniel. This signals a time of unprecedented anguish, so intense that people must flee without a moment's hesitation. But even in this darkest hour, there is a glimmer of hope for the sake of his chosen ones. God will shorten those days. God is still in control, even in the midst of chaos. Finally, Jesus gives us the ultimate defense against deception regarding his return. He warns that false prophets will perform great signs and wonders, trying to deceive even the elect. But his second coming won't be a secret, hidden event. You won't need a special tip-off to find him. He says it will be as unmistakable and visible as lightning flashing across the entire sky. Everyone will see it. There will be no doubt. So what's the takeaway for us today? Don't live in fear, but live with awareness. Don't be deceived, but be discerning. And most of all, don't just wait for the end, but participate in the mission until the end. Endure, hold fast to your faith and love, and keep sharing the good news. Thank you so much for joining me to explore these profound words from Jesus. If this message resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into Scripture. God bless, and see you next time. I love reading your comments, so let me know how you love Jesus. I will pray for you every day. Search for Jesus at HaroldSwaney for the complete library of my Bible study videos. Thank you and God bless.